Well, I didn't realize how prescient that video is going to be. Looks like really this is starting to come down of, and straight up, what we're seeing, Marjorie Taylor Greene just showed us, that Gates is demanding that McCarthy do something about impeachment, but everybody's like, well, first just give the gunmen their money. As long as we need to fund Ukraine first. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene is more interested in funding Ukraine than in getting impeachment. Like, everyone who's right of center should get this and should harass her. She thinks she's all about the equal lefts. Harass her and tell her, like, fuck you, fuck Ukraine, we're not giving them money. They're going to have to come to the peace table. You harass these people and go, how is it that you simply will not demand that the border be funded primarily? All these various things, like whatever happened to Antifa, why, that we have within the country now, we have some kind of communist gang that assassinates people. And the Republican Party won't do anything about it. No, McCarthy needs to be treated like a bitch. He needs to be treated like a bad manager. A manager who fucks up over and over and over again. And really, he really does. He needs to be treated like some kind of just above minimum wage worker getting dressed down by a boss, like all of us have. Like all of us have. And Marjorie Gates should triple down. He should actually come out very publicly and list off all the things that the Republican Party does not seem, that their actual leadership seems to have no interest in really doing anything about, that are critical. The idea that you have some kind of organization that's insurgent in nature, that the police cover up for, that in cities, in the major cities, the National Lawyers Guild covers up for these people. There's been millions raised to bail these people out when they commit crime, and that judges are just like, yeah, that's cool. I know you have some crazy political ideology that drove you to the crimes you committed, but that's not a reason to keep you away from people who obviously don't necessarily agree with you, which would be most of the population, because most of the population votes when they want political change, where you light cars on fire or destroy things. That no judge will do anything. And the fact that it's like none of this, how has Merrick Garland not been grilled alive about Antifa? I mean, this should literally be that, like, its own set of hearings. Gates is completely correct about why is none of the footage from January 6th out for people to, because we have all these people who actually, like, the guy who constructed the noose, nobody knows who he is. He's never even been contacted by the FBI, supposedly. So there's all this stuff that just doesn't add up. And obviously, McCarthy, that's how his bread is buttered. That's how he stays safe. That's how he stays in power. This has something quite specifically to do with, that kind of thing of maintaining some kind of veneer of some kind of image of some kind of, and for most of us, that the politeness, it's done. Why be polite? And Democrats have proven themselves to be openly violent. They literally answer survey questions that they would be via. Holy crap, look at that. That's fly. That they openly answer questions. Yeah, sometimes you have to answer that politics is solved by violence. That they're way more open to that. This is actually what tells you a lot about the reason why you have these dork Republicans who are really cowardly. Like, they're like, oh, respect Mitt Romney, be respectful. We aren't like the Democrats. We don't do things like this. No, no, no. And it's over. And really a big thing that you're seeing now the rise. It is Tate nationalism. And this is actually kind of important. This was something that flitted through my mind because of that that video, not just the video Shoe on Head did on the whole thing of lonely men, but then, as I was walking through it that one time, how it's like, well, I mean, the Mossad, when analyzing terrorists, were like, these are not uneducated men. These are men who have nothing. They have only education and nothing else to live for. So they've been given something to live for. Revenge. Forever. And I'm like, do you all not understand what you're creating in American society by shitting on white boys? You're going to create these guys who, well, why should I not just do whatever the fuck I want? So in thinking about this, and then that line, that conservative who was talking about Andrew Tate nationalism, and then Edward Dutton talking about the rise of the warlord gangster as people get more and more stupid and lower standards. And I was sitting there and I'm like, that's what you guys are bequeathing yourselves. You're bequeathing yourselves a right-wing Andrew Tate-inspired army. But it's going to take about a decade, and then you'll be old. That's why you invest when you're young. That's why you make sure when you're young, you fucking make sure you're dangerous. And these idiots, they're going to face something that they just never imagined. An anger and resentment that they never could imagine. That's my call at this point. Being what I'm hearing about the CPI report and how the old folks have fucked up again. And yeah, so this is going to be absolutely fascinating. I'm more and more like that. The reactions to Shoe on Head's video are making me just sit back and be like, you all have no idea what you've done. Like, you have no clue what you're doing. Because one of the key things is, she made this joke, but I think there was like every joke, if it helps have a little truth to it. So she's like, yeah, most of these people who da-da-da, and I look on their profile, and I find an OnlyFans, right? I'm like, ha ha ha. The thing is, though, that is prevalent enough. That is around enough. That the effect that has had is now enough of an effect. That really also is a factor here. This isn't like a past generation of women who are like, we can do it because we can weld as well. We can do it. No, these are women who are like, well, don't even trip, homie, because I can make my money hustling on OnlyFans. Yeah, that's winning. That's what feminism aimed for the whole time. You can help this website created by men. You can become a prostitute. These stupid programmer bros. Haha, I'm gonna make my money just taking pictures of me sitting around or something like that, and it's like my feet in the air. But so it's just, I'm thinking about the comparative sides in this upcoming schism in society. And now you see, because I'm around a lot of like kind of college educated types and stuff, it's also there's the thing of, sort of all the people that they're physically just all messed up. It's not, and like they actually they can't, they will never be able to be a part of sort of the raw production labor force. They don't have the wherewithal to do it. And that's something that there's no way around that one. That, because you see, I swear there's all kinds of, I think there's a fire, so a lot of bugs keep landing. I got zapped by something fucked up on my leg, but I think it was a wasp. But this that there's going to be this portion of the investor class at a certain level knows the United States is not going to be a place that you're going to get services and product at the level of past generations. So they would be investing very, very carefully. And then as especially interest rates rise and they're borrowing money to invest in very big things, that's also its own problem. Will that pay off at the same level over the next 20 years? There is definitely not a sign of that, a trend line saying that about the American worker. So, yeah. Be where the boys are, I suppose.